especially in Texas. There'll be a conflict shaking, an overflow of an hospital. There was something kind of a shaking there. I don't know if it was like an earthquake that I saw of some sort, but I saw like the ground tilt this way and then tilt again. It was very strange to me when I saw that vision, and I saw many were in the hospital, and I saw even school children too were rushed up in the hospital.
Of dangerous winter weather are posted from Washington state to Washington, D.C. An ice storm is blamed for multiple pileups today, including one involving at least 100 vehicles in Fort Worth, Texas. At least 6 people are dead. CBS's Omar Villafranca is at the scene.
These trucks lost control after overnight sleet turned the highway into a sheet of ice. The crash sent vehicles and debris flying through the air. By daylight, the highway was a mangled mess of crumpled cars stretching over a mile.
We are going vehicle by vehicle to make sure that anybody that is still trapped in any vehicles has been extricated if possible.
Emergency workers worried victims would develop hypothermia. The pileup happened in a matter of seconds, but it is taking hours to clean up the accident. You can see there's 18-wheelers wedged in with SUVs that are smashed together. They're having to pry them apart. They're also bringing in tow trucks with cranes to try to clean up the mess. The same winter storm that slammed Texas also wreaked havoc in Arkansas.
It was so icy that when I went to stop, I slid all the way down.
This big rig wreck in Little Rock blocked the entire highway. And a plane slipped off an icy runway in Pittsburgh. No injuries were reported. The accident happened on this toll road behind me. And the toll road operator tells me they started pre-treating the road on Tuesday. Police arriving to the accident said they noticed some of the people in the cars were wearing medical scrubs. Nora, turns out they were frontline healthcare workers just getting off their shift.
Oh, my goodness. Omar Villafranca, thank you.
We need to pray for weather problems around the world. It was too much weather problems, too much. It was too much weather problem. Houses were taken away by water. It was too much weather problem. We need to pray for that. The Lord wants to heal the land. Let's intercede and pray that weather problems will be taken away. Weather problems will be taken away. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Weather problems. Weather problems. That's 36. Weather problems.
Customers without power this morning. You're looking at live pictures from Dallas right now. Roads, you can see there, covered with ice and snow. This is not a typical picture.
That does not look like Dallas.
Right? If you know Dallas, Texas, if you ever watched the show Dallas, I don't think there was ever an episode where the roads were covered with snow like there. The temperature is the lowest they've seen in decades. CNN's Ed Lavandera is there. Wind chill, what, at -11? Are you cold?
And you need a hat.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, so bear with me as we try to plow through this report here this morning. This is incredibly strange, but on a serious note, a great deal of concern across the state as power outages, rolling power outages are being rolled out across the state to conserve electrical power here, and that is major news. So everyone across the state of Texas is being urged to conserve as much electricity as possible. because this could be a treacherous day here in this state. Here in Texas, residents are experiencing some of the worst winter weather of their lives. 2 major storms hitting the state in the last 5 days and another one on the way.
I've been here for about 30 years and I ain't never seen nothing like this.
All of the largest cities in Texas have been hammered by snow and ice.
We at Emergency Management are asking our citizens, wherever you are currently, please do not move from that spot until at least Tuesday.
In Houston, snow and freezing temperatures have forced many to seek out local shelters. City officials are warning residents that many shelters are reaching capacity, and the mayor is telling residents to avoid driving on dangerous streets. The snow and icy roads have caused more than 130 traffic accidents on Sunday night alone in Houston.
It's not just the overpasses and the bridges, it's every street, every road in this crisis that is dangerous. So I want to encourage people to stay home, to stay off the road.
In El Paso, this car pileup left tractor trailers overturned. In Oklahoma, roads are hardly visible, covered with snow and ice. These tractor trailers collided, sparking a dangerous fire on an Oklahoma highway. Oklahoma City has gone a record 5 days with temperatures below 20 degrees. The state could see up to 12 inches of snow by Tuesday. And over the weekend, Washington and Oregon saw huge amounts of snowfall. Seattle saw a record-breaking 11 inches. Truckers have been stranded for days in Oregon trying to dig out from the snow.
It's open, but I'm empty, and with these high winds, it'll just blow me off the road.
And so, Erica, here, as I mentioned, the rolling outages, power outages across the state will be of real concern as the wind chills are just absolutely brutal, well below zero in many parts of the region here this morning. John and Erica?
Yeah, downright dangerous. Ed, thank you.
He's got the frozen face.
I've been there. Go back inside, my friend. I feel so guilty having you out there. We're going to get Ed a hat, too. I'm worried about him. Look, as we look at all of this happening, it is not just Texas, as you heard in Ed's report there. In the bullseye, though, of this snow and ice storm, we're talking about more than half of the United States under winter storm advisories this morning. CNN meteorologist Chad Myers is monitoring all of it for us. Chad, hardly a corner is spared at this point.
Right. I mean, really just parts of Georgia and Florida, the only 2 real spots that didn't have any warnings at all yesterday, and they're posted all the way almost from coast to coast with the next storm coming in. Wind chill factors don't affect your house. They affect your body. They affect your pets. You need to be very cautious of letting your pet out too long today. Make sure that they get some shelter and they're out of that wind. Now, saying that it doesn't really affect your house, it does if your power's out and that wind is blowing through the windows or even a crack in your door that you don't have a good weather seal on. 1 million square miles are under a winter weather advisory called a winter wind chill warning. That's how cold we're going to be today. Oklahoma City will be 50 degrees below normal without the wind chill factor. There's your power outages, 2.4 million in Texas. Rolling those, they're saying every 30, 45 minutes, you may get your power back on. They'll shut you back off because they're trying to conserve the energy. There is the snow. It's snowing in Louisiana. There will be an ice event in Baton Rouge. There will be big ice in Nashville today. Heavy snow from Columbus through Cincinnati, all the way back up even into western and upstate New York. There'll be some heavy thunderstorms in Georgia today. Not winter weather, but certainly part of the same system. And there you go. Here goes the snow. Not one, Erica, but two snow events. What we see now. Well, ice here in Nashville, all the way up even toward Pittsburgh, and another event for the snow that will come in later on this week. There's the snow here. Now, this stops Tuesday. Now let me stop you on Saturday. Everywhere that you see that dark purple, that's 18 inches of snow on the ground.
Arctic temperatures and rolling blackouts hammering Texas as the country sees record lows throughout the South and Plains states. More than 3 million homes and businesses without power and heat, including more than 1 million residents in the Houston area. City officials slamming the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, the private company that runs about 90% of Texas's electric grid.
We've been hit hard by nature this week, but we can't deny that some of this is a man-made disaster as well. And the 5 million residents of this county and really this region and this state will deserve answers from ERCOT and the state once this is over.
ERCOT CEO saying the company is dealing with more outages because of frozen wind turbines and limited natural gas supplies.
I think what has happened here is a response that kept the grid from collapsing, that kept us from going into a blackout condition. And certainly we need to look at what has happened here once we get everybody back online, which is the #1 priority.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott placing the blame squarely on ERCOT and has called for a review of the electricity system in the state.
The power generators froze up and their equipment was incapable of generating power. And then on top of that, the natural gas that flows into those power generators, that has frozen up also. What ERCOT should have been able to do is to have backup systems in place. They have provided zero explanation why they do not have backup systems in place.
The state's water supply is now in jeopardy. In Galveston, Texas, the water supply is critically low. And in Houston, the mayor warning its residents to conserve water.